So on July 31st, 2020 at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, NASCAR and NBC made this tweet asking who is NASCAR's GOAT, and here are the results. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson won it. Richard Petty got second. Dale Earnhardt third. Kyle Busch. Who the hell voted Kyle Busch? Obviously, Kyle Busch was one of the people that voted for Kyle Busch, but still, that just kind of hurts my head. And David Pearson in last, or not last, but the 5th place. But a lot of people were concerned with the fact that there was a certain person missing from this list. And that person was Jeff Gordon. And angry Jeff Gordon fans started riots in the streets, making posts on how Jeff Gordon was so unappreciated and this and that. And if I'm being honest, at first I simply dismissed it as Jeff Gordon fans being defensive for their favorite driver, and that there was no real argument to be made that he was underrated. But then I started seeing some stuff. I started doing some research, and it kind of changed my whole perspective on what happened today, or I guess today for me, but not today for you. And I'd like to share my thoughts on whether I believe that Gordon is overrated and where I rank him all time. And just one more time, who the hell voted Kyle Busch besides Kyle Busch? Probably Kurt, I guess. Maybe paid Kurt, or maybe Kyle just paid a bunch of people to vote for him. I don't know, but Kyle Busch, it is way too early to be saying he's the GOAT.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the...
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the video. If you're a Star Wars fan, you understand I'm wearing the Rogue One shirt. I don't know, I just felt like pointing that out. But today, we're going to be talking about Jeff Gordon and whether I feel that he is underrated or overrated or just right. And I'll reveal that at the end. But first, this is the first kind of talking video that I've done that's not a NASCAR 2003 video. That's an actual, discussion video. It's the first one I've done in probably like a month. So I wanted to do more of these videos again. I've missed doing these. I just haven't really had anything to talk about, and I thought this was a great opportunity to kind of get back into doing those videos. I'm also going to stop doing NASCAR 2003 as much. We'll just do 2 and 3 times a week, because I feel like doing it every single day is maybe oversaturating a little bit. I don't want you guys to get tired of it, so we'll do it 2 or 3 times a week. I also cannot show up to the premiere every single day of the week. I thought I could. I cannot do that. We're going to try and space it out so that I can show up to every single premiere and hang out with you guys. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have a NASCAR 2003 league that I have been doing every day, but will now be doing just every couple of days. And yeah, so if you guys want to watch that, make sure to come when the premieres so you guys can hang out with me and the chat and stuff like that. And yeah, but that's enough for the promo there. Today we're going to be talking about Jeff Gordon, and I want to be talking, kind of reviewing his career, talking about where I think he ranks and all that stuff, and whether he's underrated or overrated. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I really want to hear what you guys think about this, so let me know down below. Do you guys think Jeff Gordon's overrated, underrated? And be sure to comment, maybe comment before the video and after the video. I don't know, just let me know if I changed your mind or anything like that. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this. First, we must look at Jeff Gordon's achievements over his 24-year career, not counting the 2016 8-race season he ran subbing for Dale Jr. This is the most important factor, his achievements, that is, when determining someone's greatness. Jeff Gordon's Hall of Fame career consists of 93 wins, which is 3rd all-time on NASCAR's all-time wins list. And if you factor out the drivers who didn't race in the modern era, he is first all-time in NASCAR wins. He also has more road course wins than any other driver ever. Yes, even Boris said, with 9 career road course wins. And he has the 4th most championships of all time, with 4 championships under his belt. And a lot of people like to bring up his 81 career poles, which is cool. I think that's a really great accolade. That's the most in NASCAR history, but I don't really think that should be a factor when we're talking about his career accolades, because Gordon could have gotten those accolades without a single pole in his career, or he could have gone his entire career winless and earned those 81 poles. You can go 36 races in the season, win a pole in every single one of them, and you can still lose every single one of the races. So I don't think they really matter when we are talking about somebody's career accolades, but it's still a pretty cool addition. But I think we all can agree Jeff Gordon had a pretty solid career. I'm just kidding. Gordon easily had one of the greatest careers of all time, but accolades aren't everything. There is one other factor I like to look at when speaking of someone's greatness, and that is their total influence on the sport. Some people may not think it matters when we're, talking about the grand scheme of things, but I believe influence is what makes Dale Jr. a Hall of Famer over Carl Edwards, who had a better career, which I do believe Carl Edwards is my favorite driver, is definitely a Hall of Fame driver, but I think that is what made the difference this year in him making the Hall of Fame in 2020. Dale Jr. making the Hall of Fame in 2020 over Carl Edwards. It was Dale Jr.'s influence on the sport that got him in before Carl Edwards. Now, Carl Edwards will make it at some point in his career. If he doesn't, I will be pissed. I will, hold a grudge against NASCAR for the rest of my life. But I think that is what put Dale Jr. in the Hall of Fame over Carl Edwards. Despite Carl Edwards having a better career, Dale Jr. just had a greater influence on the sport. Jeff Gordon, though, is possibly the most influential driver in the sport of NASCAR, and the only other person you could possibly combat that with is Dale Earnhardt. This is because when you speak of any human that isn't a NASCAR fan that was born before 2002 and mention NASCAR in that conversation, they will mention either Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt. Then they will say, but who watches NASCAR? That's boring. And then, if you mention NASCAR to anybody born after 2002, they'll just make fun of you for considering NASCAR a legitimate sport. But Jeff Gordon took NASCAR places that nobody ever thought possible during a time where NASCAR's popularity was at an all-time high and probably at a place that it will never, ever reach for as long as it exists. Now, I first want to say, when you look at the fact that Jeff Gordon did not receive a single vote when drivers voted on their, greatest of all time, yes, in that context, Jeff Gordon was underrated. I think he at least deserved a couple votes. But I also think it is an insane overreaction to call Jeff Gordon underrated because of a poll that consisted of 19 participants, all of them Cup Series drivers. If the poll had 1,000 to 2,000 people and none of them thought of Gordon being, in the conversation for the greatest of all time, then I would agree that Jeff Gordon is underappreciated. That would be an understatement, probably. I think he definitely should have gotten a great percentage of the votes if that were the case, but we don't really have a, vote of that scale. The general consensus on Twitter that I have seen, including a poll I ran on my Twitter, is that Gordon ranks in the top 5 all time. So going off of what I have seen on Twitter, combined with that poll I was talking about, I am going to say that Jeff Gordon is not underrated, and that a fair assessment on his ranking is anywhere between the best of all time and 5th all time. And I think the general consensus is that he's 4th all time. That's what I've seen the most. That he's 4th or 3rd or 5th, and I completely agree with those rankings. And I would like to add, if you're one of those people, mostly Jeff Gordon fans, who believe that he is by far the greatest of all time, and there is no debate for Dale Jr., or not Dale Jr., obviously not Dale Jr., Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, or Jimmy Johnson, you are, without a doubt, overrating them, and there is definitely an argument for those guys. And there is an argument for Jeff Gordon to be the greatest of all time, and that is just something for, I think, is a person-to-person basis. I don't think there is ever going to be a consensus NASCAR greatest of all time. So that is my spiel. That is all I have to say, and those are my thoughts. I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. Comment down below if you guys agreed or not. I don't think that was really a controversial decision, because I think most people, I think the correct assumption is that he's top 5. I think most NASCAR fans consider him a top 5 driver of all time. And, there's definitely a lot of people who consider him the greatest of all time, which, while I wouldn't say I'm not a supporter, but I wouldn't say I am a supporter of that. I can definitely make the argument. You can make a very valid argument for Jeff Gordon to be the greatest of all time. You can also make a valid argument for Jimmy Johnson to be the greatest, driver of all time, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. So I think it's a very evenly matched, arms race there for the greatest of all time, and I don't think it's fair to call somebody underrated or overrated just because somebody has their own opinion. So that's all I got there, and I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. I know I already said that, but I just want to make sure you guys know. Let me know down below in the comments. What did you guys think of what I said? Did you guys agree with me and all of that stuff? And that's all I got for today, so I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah, stop wasting my time trying to get mine, get out the way, move, trying to get paid.